The portal Katt Williams warned us about in 2024 didn't just open, it just became a vacuum, and it's sucking the elite right into a federal cell. We have just received a leaked, high-encryption audio file from an underground industry summit where Katt Williams didn't just tell jokes. He read out a death warrant for 5 of the most powerful rappers alive today. He named them. He gave the dates. And he gave the specific charges that the Department of Justice has been sitting on for years. If you thought the Diddy arrest was an earthquake, what happens next week is a total extinction event for the industry as we know it. The streets are whispering, but Katt is shouting. 5 superstars. 7 days. One massive federal sweep that will leave the charts empty and the jail cells full. You won't believe who is at the top of this list. One of them is a man you see on your screen every single day, pretending everything is fine while his legal team is secretly burning documents in a panic. The reckoning is no longer coming. It is officially here. Do not click away, because once we reveal these names, the music world will never look the same again. To understand why next week is being called the Judgment Day of hip-hop, we have to look back at the trail of breadcrumbs Katt Williams has been leaving since his legendary appearance on Club Shay Shay. At the time, the world laughed. The mainstream media called him erratic. They said he was just another bitter comedian who couldn't get a seat at the table. But look around you now. Every single prophecy he made, from the big deviants catching hell to the $50 million freak-off parties, has come true with a mathematical precision that is frankly terrifying. Katt Williams isn't just a comedian. He's an industry survivor who has been collecting receipts for 30 years. He has sat in the same high-security VIP rooms where these dark deals were brokered. He has seen the blood signatures on the contracts that trade a young artist's soul for a spot on the Billboard charts. And he has watched, in cold silence, as the industry gatekeepers used young, talented black men as crash dummies, building them up to be kings, only to facilitate their downfall the moment they stopped being profitable. The history of hip-hop is littered with the bodies and bankrupted estates of those who dare to speak up, but Katt did something different. He didn't just speak, he waited. He waited for the digital age, for the moment when the machine would become too big and too arrogant to hide its own tracks. For years, there has been a Cold War happening behind the scenes of the Grammys, the BET Awards, and the private villas of the Hollywood Hills. On one side, you have the gatekeepers, the moguls who think they are untouchable gods of culture. On the other side, you have the truth-tellers like Katt, who are now armed with something more powerful than a joke: federal cooperation. This conflict was always bound to explode, but nobody expected it to happen with this much velocity. The tension has been building like a pressure cooker for decades. We've seen the raids on the homes of moguls. We've seen the random shootings of independent leaders like Young Dolph and Nipsey Hussle. We've seen the sudden, forced retirements of artists who were at the peak of their influence. Katt Williams claims that the industry operates on a strict 10-year cycle. They take a kid from the streets, give him a diamond chain and a private jet, milk him for every cent of publishing and royalties, and the moment that artist starts asking for their masters or their freedom, the machine triggers a legal or physical exit strategy. But in 2026, the playbook has been intercepted. Katt's leaked audio suggests that the Department of Justice has finally flipped a master key witness, a high-level executive even bigger and more connected than Diddy, who has provided a roadmap to the internal purge. This executive has reportedly handed over the names of 5 specific rappers who were authorized to commit crimes to keep the money flowing into corporate accounts. Katt calls this the golden age of healing, but for these 5 artists, it is a scorched earth policy. The background here is deep. We are talking about decades of manipulated beefs, staged arrests, and sacrificial prison sentences used to boost album sales. But now, the feds aren't playing the game anymore. They are liquidating the assets. Katt Williams is the one holding the list because he is the only one the industry couldn't buy, couldn't scare, and couldn't kill. The industry isn't just shaking, it is collapsing under the weight of its own secrets. The background noise of Hollywood has been replaced by the sound of shredders and deleted hard drives. But it's too late. The feds have the server. Katt has the recording. And as we transition into next week, the 5 men who thought they were protected by the machine are about to realize that the machine has no loyalty. It only has an appetite. And next week, it's time for these 5 to be fed to the wolves. Every conflict, every betrayal, and every secret meeting in the last 10 years has led to this exact moment. Hollywood is burning, and Katt Williams is the one holding the match. The spark that lit this final fuse happened just 48 hours ago in the shadows of a high-security valet area outside a private terminal in Teterboro, New Jersey. This isn't just a rumor. This is where the industry's elite hide their moves. According to our high-level Deep Throat insider, Katt Williams was spotted in a heated 10-minute confrontation with a high-profile legal representative for one of the big 3 record labels. Eyewitnesses, who were terrified to even speak to us, claim Katt was heard shouting, "Tell your boss the clock just stopped. I've already handed over the encrypted server." You can't bribe a man who's already seen the end of the movie. Shortly after this explosive encounter, a 14-minute, high-bitrate audio file began circulating among the dark corners of the black market news curators. We managed to obtain a copy through an anonymous portal, and what we heard will haunt the rap world for decades. In this audio, Katt sounds different. The humor is gone. The jokes have been replaced by a cold, surgical precision that sounds more like a federal prosecutor than a stand-up comedian. He begins with a chilling warning. The feds don't move on a Sunday unless the prey is already fueling the jet. Next week, the cage is open, and the wolves are coming for the house pets. He then proceeds to drop the first 2 names from the next week list, and the betrayal involved here is so deep it makes The Godfather look like a nursery rhyme. The first name, the Atlanta Kingpin. Katt names a multi-platinum artist from Atlanta, a man who has built his entire brand on the streets and loyalty. For years, this rapper has been the subject of RICO rumors, yet he always seemed to walk away clean while his friends went to prison. But here is the first major twist. Katt reveals that this artist wasn't lucky. He claims the feds didn't just use his information to catch criminals, they used him as an architect of crime. According to the leaked audio, this rapper was given a license to operate by federal handlers. He was encouraged to start beefs and orchestrate events so the DOJ could build bigger cases against the entire southern rap scene. Katt claims he is being taken into custody this coming Tuesday, not for the crimes he committed, but for entrapment conspiracy because he became too expensive to protect. The King of Atlanta is about to find out that when you work for the feds, you're not a partner, you're a pawn. The second name, the Queen of the Charts. This is where the internet truly began to spiral into a state of shock. Katt named a female rapper who has been the face of female empowerment and independent success for the last 3 years. We've all seen her on the red carpets, winning awards and talking about bossing up. But Katt pulls the curtain back on a horrifying reality. He claims her entire career, the cars, the mansions, the diamond-encrusted watches, is a sophisticated front for a massive money laundering scheme involving offshore accounts in the Cayman Islands. He suggests that her label wasn't selling records. They were cleaning dirty capital from international syndicates through her world tours and merchandise sales. But here's the twist that makes this conflict worse than anyone expected. Katt claims that these 2 rappers aren't being arrested because the feds caught them. No. They are being arrested because they tried to extort the feds. According to the leak, these 2 artists realized the Diddy investigation was getting too close to their own business. Instead of running, they tried to use leverage files they had on high-ranking government officials to stay out of jail forever. They thought they were bigger than the government. They thought they had enough dirt to keep the handcuffs off. But the DOJ decided it was cheaper and easier to lock them up and bury the evidence than to keep paying the silence fee. The leaked messages from a secret, high-encryption WhatsApp group, reportedly called the Round Table, have started hitting the dark web. One message, allegedly from the Atlanta Kingpin's private phone, reads, "Katt has the keys to the vault." He's talking to the Southern District of New York. If that audio goes public, we aren't just going to jail, we are going to be erased. The betrayal is total. The panic is visible in every random social media post these artists have made in the last 24 hours. They are posting pictures of their kids and their wealth, trying to act like everything is normal, but behind the scenes, their legal teams are in a total meltdown. Katt Williams didn't just leak names, he leaked a death warrant for their reputations. He has positioned himself as the final boss of the industry, and he's playing for keeps. As the audio ends, Katt says something that should make every rapper in the top 40 look over their shoulder. You thought the industry was a family. It's a slaughterhouse. And Tuesday, the floor gets washed. The major conflict has been set. The first two giants are falling. But as Katt hints, the most dangerous names are still to come. And the third name on the list? It's someone who is currently on a stage, performing for thousands of fans, completely unaware that the feds are already waiting for him at the airport. As the first two names from Katt's leaked audio began to circulate, the industry didn't just panic, it went into a total digital blackout. But then, at exactly 3:14 a.m. last night, the escalation reached a point of no return. A mysterious, auto-destruct Google Drive link was blasted to exactly 10 major hip-hop journalists and 3 high-stakes legal firms. We were one of the few who managed to gain access before the link was scrubbed from the internet. Inside that drive were folders labeled with federal case numbers, folders that contained photos not of parties, but of sealed federal indictments and surveillance stills that prove the next week sweep is a coordinated strike across 3 time zones. This leads us to the third and fourth names on Katt's list, and these reveals have shifted the narrative from celebrity gossip to a national security crisis for the music business. The third name, the global rock star. Katt Williams reveals in the leak that the third rapper is a man currently in the middle of a sold-out world tour. You've seen the clips of him performing in London, Paris, and Tokyo over the last week. But Katt pulls back the curtain on a terrifying truth. The tour isn't about the music. It's a desperate, high-speed, cash-out operation. According to the federal documents in the Google Drive, this artist is moving massive amounts of physical currency and hard assets out of the United States before the DOJ freezes his domestic accounts next Thursday. The indictment suggests he is being charged with human trafficking coordination and international racketeering, charges that stem from a series of private events he hosted across Europe that the feds have been monitoring with undercover agents for 2 years. Katt's voice on the audio is chilling. He thinks he's safe because he's across the ocean. He doesn't realize the feds are already sitting in the first-class cabin of his flight home. The fourth name, the immortal legend. This is the name that made our hands shake. Katt points to a legacy rapper, someone we all consider a pillar of hip-hop history, a man with multiple business empires and a clean image. But the reveal is heartbreaking. Katt claims this individual has functioned as the industry's lead cleaner for over 2 decades. He suggests that whenever a young superstar got into trouble, whether it was a shooting, a drug overdose, or a hidden scandal, this legend was the one who made the phone calls to fix the situation using his deep political connections. In exchange, he reportedly took a silent 20% cut of their lifelong publishing. The Google Drive contained a series of bank statements showing consulting fees totaling over $40 million paid by artists who are now either dead or in prison. But here is the second shocking twist that has changed everything. The drive contained a 30-second video clip that looks like it was filmed in a high-security safe house. In the video, a man whose face is blurred, but whose voice sounds eerily like a rapper we all thought was killed in the late 90s, is giving a self-incriminating deposition. The rumors are now reaching a fever pitch. Did the feds fake the death of a major icon years ago to turn him into the ultimate witness? Katt Williams hints at this directly. The dead don't stay buried when the truth needs a voice. They've been waiting for 2024 to end, so 2026 can be the year of the ghost. The controversy is spreading across social media like a wildfire in a windstorm. Fake Twitter threads, or perhaps they aren't fake, are popping up with leaked DOJ schedules showing a massive transport of federal prisoners scheduled for next Friday morning. A celebrity jeweler from Beverly Hills recently posted a frantic TikTok, which he deleted within minutes, saying, "They are seizing everything. They aren't just taking the chains, they are taking the records of who paid for them." The industry backlash is becoming violent. We've seen reports of private security teams being doubled at major record label headquarters in New York. Rumors are swirling that one major CEO has already boarded a private flight to a non-extradition country. The Google Drive of Doom has effectively ended the careers of the third and fourth rappers before the handcuffs have even been used. But the biggest question remains: who is the fifth name? Katt calls him the head of the snake, the one man who started all of this and the one man who thinks he's been granted total immunity. As we look at the clock, the countdown to next week is ticking louder than ever. Social media users are divided into two camps: those who are terrified hip-hop is over, and those who are waiting for the fifth name to finally bring the house down. But as Katt warns at the end of the Drive's audio, if you think you've seen the twist, you haven't looked at the man holding the camera. The fourth name was a legend, but the fifth? The fifth is a betrayal that will make you question every song you've ever loved. The internet is no longer just a place for music fans. It has transformed into a digital battlefield where reputations are being incinerated in real time. Since the leak of the Google Drive of Doom and Katt's naming of the first four rappers, social media hasn't just exploded. It has entered a state of total, unadulterated chaos. The hashtag #CattList has surpassed 3 billion views in less than 24 hours, but the tone of the conversation is shifting from curiosity to a dark, visceral panic. The industry is currently split down the middle. On one side, you have the truthers, millions of fans who believe Katt Williams is a modern-day hero, a lone wolf risking his life to dismantle a predatory system. They are dissecting every old Katt interview, matching his past jokes to these new allegations like they're solving a grand conspiracy. One viral tweet with over 500,000 likes reads, "Katt didn't just open the portal, he's the one holding the flashlight in the dark." If these five go down next week, hip-hop finally breathes again. But on the other side, there is a fierce and dangerous backlash. The loyalists and industry insiders are labeling Katt a federal asset and a culture destroyer. A prominent hip-hop media personality went live on Instagram, visibly shaking, and screamed into the camera, "He's destroying everything we built. He's feeding our kings to the feds for a headline." This isn't truth, it's a hit job. The industry reactions behind closed doors are even more telling. Our sources report that a crisis summit was held via an encrypted video call last night involving the CEOs of 2 major record labels and at least 3 billionaire investors. The rumor? They're trying to find a legal way to gag Katt Williams before next week's sweep begins. But it's too late. The information is already in the wild. We've seen leaked internal memos from a top-tier talent agency advising their clients to scrub all social media associations with the rappers named on the list. Within hours, we noticed several high-profile collaborations being quietly removed from streaming platforms. The industry isn't waiting for a jury. They're already erasing these artists to save their own skin. Celebrity responses have been cryptic and haunting. A legendary basketball player, known for his inner circle access to the rap elite, posted a pitch-black image on his Instagram story with a caption, "I saw things I shouldn't have. The storm is here. God protect the innocent." He deleted it within minutes, but the screenshot has already been analyzed by millions. A world-famous pop star, who once dated the global rock star, the third name on the list, simply tweeted, "The receipts never lie." The public's obsession has reached a fever pitch. In Atlanta, fans have reportedly started a dead watch outside a famous recording studio, waiting to see if federal SUVs arrive. In New York, the atmosphere near the DOJ headquarters is thick with tension. Every random flight cancellation of a rapper is being tracked as a potential escape attempt. But the most disturbing part of the public reaction is the fan defection. We are seeing a massive division between those who are burning their merchandise in disgust and those who are holding freedom vigils. The comment sections are a war zone. One user wrote, "If name number 4 is actually a cleaner for the feds, then every song I've listened to for 20 years is a lie." This isn't just about entertainment anymore. It's about the soul of the culture. The division is fueling a fire that is burning through Hollywood's carefully manufactured image. The masks are slipping, and the public is realizing that the beefs they spent years arguing about were nothing more than a distraction while the machine worked in the background. But as the debates rage on, one terrifying question remains. If the first 4 names caused this much damage, what happens when Katt reveals name number 5? The one man who isn't just on the list, but the one who wrote it. The internet is holding its breath, and the countdown to next week is the only thing that matters. Now, we arrive at the moment that will stop your heart and make you question every like and share you've ever given to a celebrity. The 5th name. Katt Williams saved this one for the final, bone-chilling minute of the leaked audio. The background noise in the recording drops to a dead silence. You can hear Katt take a long, heavy breath, the kind a man takes before he drops a nuclear bomb. He says, "The world thinks this man is a victim. They think he's the one we should feel sorry for, the one who lost it all to the system. But the truth? The truth is he's the one who signed the warrants for the other four. He's the architect of their downfall." The fifth name is a rapper who is currently retired. A man who has spent the last 18 months rebranding himself as a philanthropist, a family man, and a pillar of the Black community. We've seen him giving speeches, donating millions, and talking about healing the culture. But Katt reveals the ultimate, soul-crushing final twist. This fifth rapper isn't going to jail next week because he got caught. He's going to jail as part of a staged federal arrest. Katt claims this man has been the lead undercover informant for the FBI's hip-hop task force for over 5 years. He didn't just snitch to save himself. He orchestrated the crimes of the Atlanta kingpin, the queen of the charts, and the global rock star specifically so he could hand them over in exchange for total immunity and a secret payout from the DOJ. Katt calls him the Judas of the genre. He reveals that the rapper's retirement was actually a mandatory cooling-off period required by his federal handlers while they finalized the indictments for next week's sweep. Katt's voice on the audio turns into a whisper. He sold out his best friends for a clean slate. He sold out the streets for a seat at the table. And next week, they're going to stage a raid on his house to make him look like a martyr. But while his brothers are sitting in a cell, he'll be sipping champagne in a safe house. But wait! There is one more thing that has left us absolutely terrified. Katt ends the audio with a chilling directive to the audience. If this audio hits the internet and I don't post a check-in video by Friday night, you know the fifth man found out I had the digital keys to his deal. The portal is open, but some people will do anything to pull the door shut. Just as we were finalizing the script, a high-priority alert flashed across the industry's internal Blue Wire network. A private security convoy was spotted moving at high speed toward an undisclosed location in the Hollywood Hills, the exact area where this retired rapper lives. But here's the kicker. The vehicles weren't marked FBI. They were private, blacked-out tactical units. Is the machine trying to silence the informant before he can testify? Or is Katt Williams himself currently in the crosshairs? The Age of Truth has officially turned into a season of blood. The 5 names are out there. The clock is ticking toward next Tuesday. And as we speak, the very man who claimed to be the glue of the industry is preparing to watch his brothers go down for crimes he helped them commit. But with Katt Williams missing from social media for the last 6 hours, the biggest cliffhanger isn't just about who goes to jail. It's about whether the man who told us the truth will live to see the reckoning. Stay tuned, because the next update might be the last one we are ever allowed to post before the blackout begins. This is the most dangerous story we have ever covered, and the clock is ticking toward a Tuesday that will change music history forever. But we need to know your thoughts. Who is the fifth man? Is he the hero you thought he was, or the ultimate Judas? Drop his name in the comments right now, and let the debate begin. Like this video to show the industry we won't be silenced, and subscribe with the bell icon on. We're expecting a fresh leak in the next few hours regarding Katt Williams' current location. You cannot afford to miss what's coming next. The truth is here. Don't look away.